Okay friends, so this is my second try at this video. I'm using my phone right now for these, and for some reason you can't switch the direction of the camera in the middle of recording. You can't even pause it to do that, so I had to start over. I had planned to start my garden tour this morning sitting on the beautiful deck my dad helped me build last year. Well, it took a couple years to finish, but still. And but my cushions on my chairs are all wet, and the deck is all wet, and these cinder blocks are the driest thing I have to sit on, and it's only because they don't really hold water in the same way. But I thought I would start our garden tour in the back of the garden today. So thank you for joining me. And one other thing, this is my first video on YouTube. I've been doing my garden tours on Instagram the last couple times, and I think that's given me enough confidence to actually do it on YouTube now. So this will be an uncut version because I'm not skilled enough. It's not really skill. I don't have time to sit at a computer and try to edit it right now. But here we go. Here we have one of our raspberry plants just thriving. I wish I could remember which one of these is which. I have two golden and one red, so that's one of them, that's one, and that's one. This one still hasn't done anything, and I'm worried it might not. I will find out. But I was supposed to soak them before planting them, so I did. Unfortunately, I soaked them all in the same bucket, so I don't know what's what. But here's my thornless blackberries. They seem to be doing really well. And this, I don't know if I've told you about this yet. This is from my childhood. So my mom used to have this sitting on her deck and used it as a deck box. It's really like a truck utility box. But once I get it cleaned out, because right now it's just full of like, I don't even know if I can open it. I'm gonna have to open the other side. It's just like full of dirt and algae. But once I get it cleaned out, I'm gonna use it to keep garden tools so they're not getting left out in the rain like this. Because my shed is on the other side of those trees inside the gate next to the chicken coop. Look, sunchokes are coming up. Oh, they're so beautiful. I can't wait till they bloom. I think all of these are sunchokes. This one's giving me a little, I'm not sure. It might be a weed, but I don't want to pull it because I don't know for sure. And for some reason, this does not want to stay covered. So cover that sunchoke back up. I think burying them is probably the best, because so far this is all this one is doing. And there are like 4 root pieces in here and 3 root pieces in here. So if you're gonna try and grow some Jerusalem artichoke, I would definitely say bury them. Don't try the root stout method. But this method works great for potatoes. So we have a potato in here that I'll need to hill up again. There's another one right there. And some trash I need to take care of. That's something else I want to get for the garden, is a garbage can. It's waterproof that I can just put garbage in and then take it to the garbage can that the garbage man takes. Oh my goodness. You can tell I haven't had enough sleep. This my mother gave me for Kay to sit on in the garden. It got some weeds thrown on it, I think, so I need to get it washed off. Kay's toy. I need to get this out of here. That is a bed that I tried to plant some strawberries in. They didn't take off. I need to weed completely and top dress with some straw, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But look at all my lovely milkweed that has volunteered. Last year, I think this was like 3 plants. Oh, I wonder what this is. That's kind of pretty. It looks like a fern of some sort. I'll have to look that up. This bed is still only half done. And my poor eggplants, I keep coming in here and smushing as many flea beetles as I can. And they're just going to town on them. Look at this poor leaf. They're all so like... We have some kohlrabi in here. Some dill that doesn't seem to be really doing that great. A couple of zucchini that are really close together, but we'll see how they do. Some basil, some celery, and a sunflower. And we got some marigold here and some onions planted throughout. Look at this. My chamomile is just taking off. It's so pretty. Like I said, we got rained on last night, so everything's a little dewy this morning. And here's my artichoke. It's so pretty. I don't know how it will do. We'll see. Lots of green beans coming up in here. My tomato plants. It's strange to me. Some of my tomato plants are doing amazing and others not so great. And I planted all of these tomato plants with some rabbit poop underneath them, so I'm not sure. I didn't think that would take. That was a clipping I put in the ground. I've never had success doing it that way. I need to just root them inside, I think. But these beans on this half, I think kind of got scooted down because this is not completely even. And my daughter was having fun digging around in the dirt after I planted all of my green bean seeds. But my calendula is looking beautiful. I'll pull that out of there. I need to get some more weeding done. See that right there? That's a rose bush I want to get in the ground. This I'm super excited about. I don't know where to plant it yet, but I bought it 3 years ago. And because I didn't know where to plant it, it's just been sitting in this pot and it's come back every year. This I got planted the other day. We got some red romaine in here, and then I put a little green envy zinnia in the middle. So there's that. This is my watering contraption. This is just a bag of soil. We run hoses from our house. Those are all tomatoes that need to be planted. Some of them not looking so great. My table of starts that all still need to be planted. Lots of celery, zucchini, pumpkins, peppers, flowers, some more kohlrabi, melons, all sorts of stuff. But I got this done. These are mostly peppers in the ground right now. But we've got some purple queen zinnias, I think, is what these were called. Some, let's see if I can get it to focus. Marigolds, crackerjack marigolds. More purple zinnias, crackerjack marigolds, purple zinnias, crackerjack marigolds. A sunflower. We've got a couple Peter Pan squash. And I think those are butternut squash. I planted those and didn't plant all of the ones from the container, and I can't remember what they are now. But we have lots of hot and sweet peppers in here. There's some Corno di Toro mixed peppers. Those are sweet, and my little sister loves them, so I'm hoping my daughter does as well. Jalapenos, banana peppers, Yolo Wonder. Those are a bell pepper. I still have these 2 massive beds and the walkway that needs to be managed. Oh. And then half of this bed still needs to be managed. I've got to get this one done so I can get the rest of the tomatoes in the ground. We've got 4 tomato plants here. Wait, we did? Oh yeah, we do have 4. We have a calendula, lots of cucumbers, a Malabar spinach over there in the corner, and then more starts that need to be got in the ground. More starts that need to be got in the ground. There's more cucumbers. I think the ones on that side are pickling cucumbers. And these are just slicers. Another Malabar spinach over there. Some celery, tomatillos, calendula, basil, lots of everything under these cages, even like the little tiny cages, those are tomatillos. I do not have a trellis system for tomatillos yet because this is my first year growing them on such a large scale. The most I've ever done is 2 plants, and then we never really ate them because I didn't have enough to do anything with them. So we've got a lot of Hamburg rooted parsley through here. It's similar to parsnips, like the root is, but you can eat the leaves too. So the plan is to have a lot of that this fall. I don't really know how long it takes. But look at my artichoke here. This one's doing really well. That other leaf was one that was on here when I transplanted it, and it got a little shock, but the rest of the plant is starting to do really well. Some green beans coming up. My bronze fennel. Can you see that? It's so pretty. It just doesn't really show very well on this straw. And another calendula plant. Yeah. And I planted this out. There's a couple, I think these are zucchinis. Shoot. I don't remember what I planted in here. They might be cucumbers. Well, I will find out when they start fruiting. Calendula. This one needs to be wound back up. Gloves that are sopping wet because of the rain. Oh, look at this. This was so exciting. When I weeded this bed out, I found this. If you can look under here. That's an old root and stem of cabbage from last year. It survived the winter. I just can't. That's incredible to me. So I actually found it way over there. And I had to like dig it up because there was so many thistles around it. So I replanted it because I really want to see what it does. If it gives me heads, that will be amazing. It's probably going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heads maybe. That would just be incredible. All of my beautiful thyme, which I am loving. I've been slowly working on getting this creeping Charlie out of my thyme. It's taking forever. And the mint. This, I didn't know anything about planting mint in the garden when I first planted it, and I will never do it again. Because it doesn't, like, thyme, yes, it spreads, but it spreads on top, and you can trim it back and control it, but mint does not. Mint started way over there, a little closer to the rhubarb, and now is coming, before I even planted the rhubarb, and it's just creeping everywhere. I think it's out in the middle of the yard, but it smells good. And then my beautiful sage that is just gorgeous. I am glad I let this bloom. I still can't believe it survived the winter either. We did have a mild winter, but not mild enough that should have lived. That's not a perennial. They don't come back every year. I think our asparagus patch is done for the year. We've got a couple coming up, but I think I'm going to let them go to seed. Put some more energy back in to the ground. I need to plant that pot out, that hanging pot. There's not really anything in it. that green stalk is full of cabbage. It was up on my deck over there, but it didn't get enough sun. So we brought it down here, hoping it gets more sun. Over here, I planted some sunflowers. What in the world? Look at that hole. Do you see that? I have no clue what's in that hole. I hope it's a snake. That would be nice. A volunteer potato plant, because apparently last year I missed several potatoes. Another sunflower. Another sunflower. This is red clover. This is a sweet William that's decided to grace our presence in the garden. I put some sweet peas in here. Another sunflower. More sweet peas. Sunflower. Sunflower. Sweet peas. Sunflower. All those are sunflowers. There's another volunteer potato plant. And another volunteer potato plant. And look, we've got some lamb's quarters in there. And here's this bed. These, I seem to have been able to manage the flea beetle. Because this new leaf doesn't have any holes in it. Now yesterday, I did smush a ton of aphids that were on this leaf. So those are actually aphid holes. These are from a flea beetle. But it seems to be recovering pretty well. I've been trying to get out here and just make sure my plants aren't getting eaten. I have lots. Oh, here's where my space. I think I said in a previous garden that these are zucchinis. These are not. These are Space Master cucumbers. I'm pretty sure I've told my husband they're zucchinis. I was wondering where the cucumbers went. So this is full of cucumbers. I don't know how big these will get. Pretty sure I planted them too close together. But I needed to get stuff in the ground. We'll see how they do this year. So this area right here and this area, I would leave like a walkway like this. But all of that was potatoes. It was a potato patch last year, and all of from here on over was a potato patch last year. The reason I'm not doing potatoes again here this year is because I had really bad problems with some slugs and worms, and most of the potatoes I got were just not good. And so I'm just giving this area a break because I don't want to deal with those pests again. It wasn't fun digging up all of those potatoes and having them be gross and not edible. But here, let me show you. This is some bee balm, which I'm super excited about. I harvested a ton last year. I plan on harvesting more this year. This is some volunteer wheat. It's all over the garden because I used straw and didn't get in here to manage the weeds before it came up. But the chickens will love it. So this is my coneflower. Oh no, it's covered in aphids. No, it's not. That's just some discolored. Oh, I wonder what's going on. Coneflower. This, I can't remember what this is. My mother gave it to me. It's gonna bloom soon, so that's exciting. Sweet William, which I just recently learned, and I want to do a little more research on this, but Sweet William's actually edible. They call them pinks, and you can make jellies and stuff with them. They don't really have a smell, but they're one of my favorites to look at. They're so beautiful. Look at our cherry tree. It is just doing wonderful. Look, some of the cherries are blushing. I think, you call tomatoes. Why won't it focus? It doesn't like. There we go. I think. I don't know. But I'm so excited. You see tomatoes blush when they start to turn red. And so I assume you probably do that for cherries too, but look, more thistle. I need to come in and chop this top off before it flowers and puts seeds everywhere in my garden. My columbine, I think, is done blooming for the year. There's some more columbine in there. More of my sweet williams. And more here. At one point, I had this all cleared out so I could put a garden on the outs, like a flower garden on the outside. But I think I need to have a barrier to keep weeds and stuff from coming in. But this, let's see if I can get a wide enough shot. That doesn't. This is one of our pear trees. We have another one on the other side there. It needs a lot of pruning. We got a couple apple trees too. We got this one. Didn't really bloom this year. The playhouse is from my mother, from my daughter. She hasn't really shown interest in it yet though. Another apple tree. Let's see if we can get a good angle of the garden from this. I'll get something later. But that's it. That's my garden. Oh, I forgot to tell you about these things. So you know those little tiny planters that I showed you? Well, I showed you everything growing on top, but I forgot to tell you there are tomato plants growing out the bottom. Well, that's not tomato. But yeah, rhubarb, oregano, still looking beautiful. I need to come in and harvest it because it's starting to kind of fall over. So yeah, that's the garden tour this week. Thank you for tuning in and have a blessed, wonderful day.